Alright guys, I am doing a video on the furnace right now, a brief video. I'm probably going to make more videos showing what I'm doing, but right now it involves the filter rack, the placement, and attaching it to the furnace, cutting out the hole, and attaching it to the plenum. Okay, so basically, I mean, what you have to do, the furnace has little notches, indentions all the way around. On this particular one, it's a line, and two curves on both ends. What you want to do is you want to measure, okay, what your furnace rack size is. That's the size you want to cut out, obviously, but you want to measure the amount of, the height right here, the gap of your ductwork. You want to make sure that it's going to match up. In most cases, it matches up pretty good. You don't have to make any, adjustments as putting it up higher or anything. You don't want to do that anyways. They put those notches in there for a reason. So don't do that. Always cut out the hole according to what the furnace specifications are in the instructions, okay? And they put those indentions in the furnace for a reason. So you want to cut out where the indentions are and then adjust your furnace height accordingly to the ductwork. So don't cut up higher or anything like that. You could cut a little bit wider or whatever to fit your filter rack. Most of the time it's going to be like 16 by 25 or smaller. So what I did is I cut out where the indentions was, the size of the filter rack. And what I did, what made it easier for me was I measured the distance from the two indentions, okay, with a measuring tape, and then I located the center, and then I measured the inside of where the furnace rack is going to attach to the furnace, and then I measured the center of it and lined it up because it's wider. My furnace rack is wider than the indentions was. Alright, so I made sure that it's center and it's still where it's supposed to be cut out at, but it's a little bit wider and a little bit taller, but not much. It starts where the indentation is at the bottom. You don't want to move it over or anything like that because it's made like this for a reason. The fan is going to pull air anyways, but you want to stick with what your furnace, the size and everything. So basically that's how I got it in there. I cut it out using some sheet metal shears, and I started using just a circular saw and cut a little hole out and then cut it out or whatever and pull out the fiberglass insulation in there, and I just pulled it out and put it back in there so any of the metal shavings or whatever wouldn't get all up in there or whatever. There's all the fiberglass from inside of the furnace. So what I'm going to do now is take some of this good stuff, this foil tape, black sticky foil tape, which is for HVAC, and I'm going to tape the outside of this. Alright, I'm going to tape the outside of it, make sure it's airtight, and then I'm going to slide it up in there. Alright, I don't need to use any S-locks or anything like that. You can, you probably should, but what I am going to do is, look, I'm not a professional. If a professional came and did this, they're going to do everything that they're supposed to do, and I'm doing what I want to do because it's my house. I can do what I want. Alright, people, I'm doing it this way. I'm just going to slide it up in there. The filter rack goes right over top of that plenum right there, and then I can screw it in with some sheet metal screws and tape it, make it airtight, and it's going to be fine. I don't need to use S-locks or anything like that. The old furnace that I took off, it had S-locks on it, and then it had the S-lock sleeves that go over top of it, and then you bend them around the corners or whatever. But honestly, I think tape or whatever is going to make it more airtight than that. I don't know. Look, I'm not a professional. I'm just showing you what I'm going to do. And honestly, doing it this way isn't a big deal. I mean, you're getting it on there. It's going to be airtight. Everything's going to be fine. So that's what I'm getting ready to do. I'm going to tape it up. I'm going to slide it up in there. I'm going to put some sheet metal screws in there. I'm going to tape it up. And then I got some HVAC, adhesive paste stuff that I'm going to put in there and make sure it's all airtight and everything. And that is what I'm getting ready to do. So stay tuned and I will show you what it looks like whenever I'm done. Alright, so I've taped the outside edges. I didn't tape the front. I can do that later if I decide to do that, but where the little slot is right there, I didn't want to tape that and then it get in the way. So I just taped all 4 edges nice and neat because I'm OCD like that, and got the outside and everything. There's no like notches on the bottom or anything that need to be taped up. This is a Goodman new furnace. There ain't nothing that needs to be like taped up, any hose or anything. So that is the tape job. What I'm going to do next is set it up. I'm going to slide it up in there now, and I'm going to go over here, around here, and I'm going to do my best to straighten all these kinks out as good as I can so it'll be easier to screw in the screws. And then after that I'll clean it up a little bit and tape it. So bear with me and I'll show you whenever I'm done. I just want to mention real fast, I took a wet rag and wiped down the outside there of the plenum or whatever, because I'm gonna be taping that and you don't want it to be all dirty. I'll get the inside. There's a little door right there, so I'm just gonna open that up and vacuum as much as of it I can out. I got it with a broom, and I'm gonna try to open that, take that off and clean that so all that dirt and stuff ain't getting up in there in the new furnace whenever I install it. So I'm cleaning that out. So this is what I've got so far. I've got the furnace filter rack attached, and I've got the coil sitting on top. What I'm gonna do next, or what I've done with the furnace filter rack, is I didn't take the blower out. So what I did was I got as many screws as I could, attaching it to the plenum, and I just took the tape and I wrapped it around as much as I could. I'm gonna get it really good tomorrow. So I got the screws, attached it to the ductwork. I got the tape, I taped it around the edges, and what I got to do next is get some caulk, and I'm going to caulk the outside of, or the inside of the coil there on top of the furnace, and take some more of that tape and wrap that coil nice and tight around the outside there, and that is going to be it for that part. And then I got plenty more to do after that. I got to run the PVC pipes out through the side of the house there and connect the gas line down and connect that top ductwork there with some sheet metal and some screws and the wiring, and I'm getting there, almost done. So I will make more videos on what's going on and the steps that I'm taking to do this. So hopefully it's helping somebody out. It's getting early for me, so it's time for me to go to bed. But that's what I've got so far First time doing it. I'm curious to see how this thing turns out. We'll see you next time.